This house style built America, but 90% of people don't know its name. From the Pilgrims' survival shelters to today's Instagram-famous farmhouses, American architecture tells the story of 400 years of dreams, innovation, and cultural evolution. Today, we're exploring every major house style that shaped the American landscape. I'm your American Scout, and in the next 15 minutes, we'll explore 25 house styles that tell the complete story of American architecture. Let's start with the very beginning. Post-medieval English. In the earliest days of the colonies, survival came first, style came second. English settlers in New England built homes with steeply pitched roofs and small windows to withstand brutal winters. These timber frame houses with wattle and daub construction were America's first architectural statement. We're here to stay, no matter what nature throws at us. Colonial Dutch settlers in New York introduced the gambrel roof, that distinctive barn-like shape that added crucial attic space. These sturdy brick and stone houses with exposed beams weren't just homes, they were fortresses against both weather and conflict. The Dutch knew how to build for generations, not just seasons. Spanish colonial. Meanwhile, in the Southwest, Spanish settlers faced a completely different challenge: intense heat instead of freezing cold. Their solution? Thick adobe walls and red tile roofs that kept interiors cool. These mission-inspired buildings with central courtyards created the template for California's architectural identity. French colonists along the Mississippi River had another problem entirely: flooding. They raised their homes on piers and added wraparound porches that became Louisiana's architectural signature. These elevated Creole cottages didn't just survive the swamp, they embraced it. Georgian. By the 1700s, wealthy colonists wanted sophistication, not just survival. Georgian houses brought British elegance to America with perfect symmetry, formal proportions, and refined details. These brick mansions with balanced windows and decorative crowns announced that America was ready for high society. Federal after the Revolution, Americans wanted architecture that reflected their new national identity. Federal style took Georgian formality and made it lighter, more delicate. Those elliptical fan lights and slender columns weren't just beautiful, they were democracy made visible in wood and stone. Greek Revival Nothing said democracy, like borrowing from ancient Greece. Greek Revival houses transformed American neighborhoods into temple districts. Those massive columns and triangular pediments weren't showing off. They were making a political statement. This was architecture for a republic, by a republic. Gothic Revival. But not everyone wanted to live in a temple. Gothic Revival brought medieval romance to America with pointed arches, steep gables, and decorative wooden trim. These fairy tale houses proved that American architecture could be emotional, not just rational. Italian villa style offered a compromise: sophisticated but not pompous, elegant but not cold. Those tall, narrow windows with decorative crowns and overhanging eaves supported by brackets created what became America's most popular 19th century style. It was European refinement adapted for American practicality. Second Empire, named after Napoleon III's France. Second Empire brought Parisian sophistication to American cities. That distinctive mansard roof wasn't just stylish, it was practical, creating usable attic space while avoiding height restrictions. These elaborately decorated houses with iron cresting announced that America had arrived on the world stage. Stick style. As America industrialized, architects began celebrating structure itself. Stick-style houses displayed their wooden framework like a skeleton, with decorative boards applied to exterior walls. This wasn't about hiding construction, it was about making the building process part of the beauty. Queen Anne Victorian opulence reached its peak with Queen Anne houses. These asymmetrical mansions with turrets, towers, and wraparound porches threw symmetry out the window in favor of visual excitement. Every surface was an opportunity for decoration, every corner a chance for surprise. Shingle style. By the 1880s, some Americans were tired of Victorian excess. Shingle-style houses smoothed away the decorative chaos with continuous wood shingles that flowed over surfaces like fabric. These organic beach house forms pointed toward a more relaxed American lifestyle. Richardsonian Romanesque architect Henry Hobson Richardson created something uniquely American by combining medieval European forms with modern American materials. These massive stone houses with round arches and tower features were built like fortresses but designed like homes. Prairie style. Frank Lloyd Wright revolutionized American architecture with one simple idea: houses should belong to their landscape, not dominate it. Prairie houses with their horizontal lines, low-pitched roofs, and bands of windows created a distinctly American modernism that influenced the world. Craftsmen. The arts and crafts movement brought handmade quality back to an industrial age. Craftsman bungalows with their low-pitched roofs, exposed rafters, and built-in furniture celebrated honest materials and skilled workmanship. These weren't just houses, they were philosophical statements about how Americans should live. Mission Revival. California's Spanish heritage inspired a revival that spread nationwide. Mission Revival houses with stucco walls, red tile roofs, and arched openings brought Mediterranean romance to American suburbs. These weren't copies. They were California's gift to American architecture. Tudor Revival. The 1920s brought nostalgia for medieval England. Tudor Revival houses with half-timbering steep roofs and leaded glass windows created storybook neighborhoods across America. These weren't historically accurate. They were Hollywood's version of medieval charm. Mediterranean Revival Florida and California developed their own version of European romance. Mediterranean Revival houses combined Spanish, Italian, and Moorish elements with American luxury. These weren't just houses, they were vacation fantasies made permanent. Art Deco. The machine age demanded a new architectural language. Art Deco houses with geometric patterns, stylized ornament, and streamlined forms captured the optimism of the Roaring Twenties. These houses looked like the future, and for a brief moment, they were. International-style European modernists fleeing war brought radical ideas to America. International-style houses with flat roofs, white walls, and floor-to-ceiling windows rejected all historical ornament. These weren't just houses, they were manifestos about how modern people should live. Streamline Moderne. The 1930s streamlined everything, including houses. Streamlined modern homes with curved corners, horizontal banding, and ribbon windows looked like ocean liners or airplanes. These houses promised that American technology would create a better future. Ranch post-war America wanted something completely new. Casual, one-story living that embraced the outdoors. Ranch houses with their long, low profiles, attached garages, and sliding glass doors defined suburban America. These weren't just houses, they were the architectural expression of the American dream. Split level. The 1950s and 60s experimented with multi-level living. Split-level houses separated public and private spaces on different levels, connected by short staircases. These houses tried to give families both togetherness and privacy in compact suburban lots. Contemporary, mid-century modern California architects created a new American style by blending indoor and outdoor living. These houses with post and beam construction, walls of glass, and flat or shed roofs brought the landscape inside. They weren't trying to look like anything except themselves. A-frame. The vacation house got its own architectural language. A-frame houses with their triangular profiles and soaring interiors created dramatic spaces from simple construction. These were weekend houses that looked like adventure. Geodesic dome Buckminster Fuller's geometric experiment briefly captured American imagination. These dome houses promised maximum space with minimum materials, though most Americans decided they preferred corners and straight walls. Brutalist raw concrete architecture made a brief appearance in residential design. These fortress-like houses celebrated material honesty over comfort, though most Americans found them more intimidating than inspiring. Postmodern. The 1980s brought architectural irony and historical quotation. Postmodern houses mixed classical columns with contemporary materials, creating buildings that were both serious and playful. These houses winked at architectural history while embracing the present. Neo-traditional new urbanism brought back traditional neighborhood design with a modern twist. These houses looked historical, but incorporated contemporary amenities and environmental consciousness. They proved that Americans could go back to the future. McMansion, the 1990s and 2000s, celebrated size over style. McMansions combined elements from multiple historical styles into enormous suburban houses. Critics called them architectural chaos, but buyers called them the American dream supersized. Green building environmental consciousness created new architectural priorities. Greenhouses with solar panels, energy-efficient systems, and sustainable materials proved that American architecture could be both comfortable and responsible. Modern farmhouse Instagram and home renovation shows popularized a new hybrid style. Modern farmhouse combined rustic barn-inspired exteriors with contemporary interiors. These houses offered both Instagram-friendly aesthetics and modern convenience. Tiny house economic and environmental pressures inspired a radical downsizing movement. Tiny houses challenged Americans to reconsider how much space they actually needed, creating architectural efficiency from necessity. Smart home technology integration became the newest architectural frontier. Smart houses with automated systems, integrated electronics, and responsive environments promised homes that could think for themselves. Net zero. The newest frontier combines luxury with sustainability. Net zero houses produce as much energy as they consume, proving that environmental responsibility and comfortable living can coexist. American house styles adapted to local conditions across the continent. New England salt boxes handled snow loads, while Charleston single houses caught ocean breezes. Southwest adobes deflected desert heat, while Pacific Northwest styles embraced rain and forests. American architecture succeeded because it adapted, borrowing global ideas but making them work for local conditions. These house styles didn't just shelter Americans, they shaped American identity. Colonial houses expressed independence, Victorian mansions celebrated prosperity, and ranch houses embodied suburban dreams. Each style reflected who Americans were at the time and who they aspired to become. From survival shelters to smart homes, American house styles tell the story of American dreams. Every architectural period reflected the values, technologies, and aspirations of its time. Colonial houses emphasized survival and independence. Victorian styles celebrated prosperity and progress. Modern houses embraced technology and casual living. What makes American architecture unique isn't any single style. It's the willingness to borrow, adapt, and innovate. Americans took British Georgian and made it federal. They borrowed Greek temples and turned them into houses. They imported European modernism and created ranch houses. Today's modern farmhouse and smart home movements continue this tradition, combining nostalgia with innovation, comfort with technology. American house styles keep evolving because American dreams keep evolving. The house style that built America isn't any single style. It's the American approach to architecture itself, the willingness to try new ideas, adapt old ones, and create something unique from global influences. Thanks for joining me on this architectural journey through America. If you enjoyed exploring these house styles, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the American Scout for more deep dives into American culture. What's your favorite American house style? Let me know in the comments below. Next week, we'll explore how American cars evolved alongside these houses, so hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. Until then, keep exploring America.